Hey sweetheart, welcome in. So today I built for you an A-frame with an attachment. I have a pond in the back. We're pretending it's part of a lake because we don't have lakes in this game. But I said I wanted to play around more with that eclectic sort of earthy tone thing I did in the earth mushroom house. So this is that. We're gonna get right into it. I actually built this in Brindleton Bay, which is not my normal go-to because I hate the rain, and also I feel like a lot of these little areas in Brindleton Bay are really hard to build in because of all the foliage. But I felt like it kind of fit. I felt like if you lived somewhere like this, you probably would be somewhere sort of messy. So it's on Dachshund'sCreek. I think it's 30 by 20 lot up in that corner with the 3 lots. If you know what I'm talking about if you look at the thing. I'm not going to over explain it. But this house actually somehow came out less than 40K, even though I felt like I was using a lot of stuff. And the roofing wasn't awful. I actually had fun roofing this, which doesn't happen often. I built this while watching Dracula's Daughter and Bride of Frankenstein, so it actually was like really fun. It felt like it went by really fast. Sometimes these builds feel like they're just like I'm doing the same thing over and over and I can't find where I'm trying to change things. But this one, like I knew what I wanted and it was really kind of easy once I had these windows. You're about to watch me fight with these windows. I'm going to try the growing together ones, and then I'm going to try the business and hobby ones, and I'm going to try the base game ones, and I'm going to go back and forth and back and forth. Eventually I ended up kind of Frankensteining some together. I have the base game, and then I think the business and hobbies are on top of it, and then I have the growing together pointed ones like I wanted. I wish I could have made it a little flatter so they would have lined up better. That's the one issue I have with the growing together ones, is that you can't really play with them in areas where because that point you feel like it should go into the roof, and then it doesn't really work. But either way, I really like this build. It felt very cozy in a way a lot of my builds don't. I don't know, maybe it's just in my head earth tones are really warm and comforting. Even though it's not how I decorate, I like dark colors and pastels, and I think, well, you could probably tell from just my little setup here, but like, my preference is black with pastels. I like that sort of energy. I want my kitchen to be like rose quartz themed and silver and white and pink. That's more me. But in The Sims, I think it's so easy to build a place that feels so comfortable with just earth tones that it was really easy. This one was also doing something really weird. I don't know. I think my game just might be bugging right now because it was doing it with the mushrooms. Where like what I put down as I was building, even if I took up the floor plan, it was still trying to recognize that as the rooms. I don't know what was causing that. I don't know if it was like a glitch from having the roofs down like that, but it was very annoying. But right now we're about to start doing the floor plan for the loft. So the loft is only half of that upstairs, which I feel like might be wasted space, but there was nowhere that like I liked the idea of putting a ladder, so I decided to loft it with stairs, and I had to leave room for that. If you're gonna have stairs, you may as well just have it like an open indoor balcony situation for the loft instead of just one little room upstairs. So that's what I did here. I used a lot of that orange toned wood, which I know a lot of people hate, but I felt like it was really fitting. I have a little book nook corner. I use the book nook kit, like the stacked books to kind of build the space out. I don't know, I really like this one. But I don't think you care about that as much because I was talking about Pierce the Veil last time, and I genuinely believe doing that healed something in me. I don't know, something about hearing the What Does It Take, Maybe It's Not Too Late from Better Off Dead Live. That was my favorite song for a really long time. That and Heroin were like tied for me for Sleeping with Sirens at least. So it was really comforting and really nice to get to hear it live and then hold on till May live is so good. I hope you all get to experience it. And then they brought Kellen back out for King for a day, and that was the final part of the night, and it was so fun. I don't know, something about getting to hear those songs live for the first time after finally watching I Saw the TV Glow and like seeing something that put it into words. It was beautiful. It was a really good feeling. It was a great weekend. Well, great week. Work afterwards was not great. It was sucked that I had to go back to that, but it was really good. And if you have tickets, you're gonna have a great time, and I hope you do. Now, we're working on this loft again. When I was building this loft, I wanted Karen and Connie to be proud of me. I know they don't know who I am, and they're not gonna be proud of me, nor do they care to be, but I want them to be. So it's very cluttered. There's string lights all over it. I have the green and brown color scheme throughout the whole house, but it definitely, like, the green is really present in this space because the bed and the wall are green, and that kind of makes everything tie back. I have, I think, 3 or 4 plants in that one little corner at the foot of the bed that you can't do anything with. I have a cute little, I have a cute little footstool at the end of the bed. I don't know, I just made it really cozy and small, and I felt like it was something they'd appreciate. I'd like them too. They were kind of an inspiration. Them and, again, Maeve Plays with that short she did where she was doing different mix-matched kitchens, which is right here. I don't know why I hovered like that. Oh, I was struggling to pick a fridge, that's why. I was like, why did I not cut that out? Because that was where I was struggling with the fridge. But I really like the multiple browns and like different tones. I use the Parenthood basin sink in here because I couldn't find one that I liked how it matched, so I just used a different counter. Here's where I'm working on that book nook. I never deleted this basement. I took the shelves out of this basement because it didn't work the way I wanted it to. It wanted to jump right up. So I took the shelves out of this basement, but I didn't take the basement out. So if you download this off the gallery, you're gonna have a weird basement. You can get rid of it. It's not important. It's not attached to anything. It's just a basement with a saucer light in it. And I don't really know why I left it there. But I ended up using that City Living little fake book nook fake book nook ottoman thing. Put some pillows on it. I use the pillows on a lot of surfaces in here if I remember right. It just felt a little like nicer to have it be sort of cozy. But here we are. I really cluttered this kitchen, by the way. I wanted it to look very lived in, and like the eclecticness of it was on purpose and not messy. Because I feel like sometimes it can look like you just kind of used whatever you found in eco living. It looks sometimes like you can be using the eco living like trash if you don't clutter it properly. So this is probably the most expensive part of the house. A, because it's open floor plan, so like the living room 2 is like probably the bulk of that $38K. I think it's really 37.5, but we're gonna call it 38. And I use like 35 or 36 packs on this. I'm sorry. But I'm building for me. Like, this is just my fun, and then you get to see it. So I'm not gonna limit it unless I find a reason to. Like, I know for Halloween, I want to use just vampires, life and death, and book nook, and build like a speakeasy library situation. So like in that regard, but that's more a challenge for me because those fit together and not a challenge for the purpose of someone else using it. So I don't know. But I really liked this one. I used a lot of stuff I wouldn't normally, including putting a hanging plant under a cabinet to make it look like that's a cabinet, to make it look like the counter had something on it. And then I put a dog in this house. Normally I go cat. Normally I prefer a cat because I prefer cats. But I did do a dog. I did that green Parenthood table, and then all the chairs around the table don't match. And then I don't know, I really, really like this one. I didn't playtest it. So I think if a sim is sitting down, they cannot get around that table. But they have a full block, I think, if the chairs are under the table, so they should be able to get through just fine. Block, a tile. That's what those are called. But I did my best to have this really cluttered. I could not pick a rug to save my life. We did eventually pick a rug. I also used the money trash can, the newer base game one that actually looks good instead of the base game one that really only works in cyberpunk spaces. Love the money trash can. So glad they gave us a better one. Oh, and I used some configurable couches in here, like, correctly. Kind of. I used them to make a matching love seat and couch because I felt like we had really ugly ones. And I am very aware that I was watching Bride of Frankenstein during this part, and I just feel like you'd like to know that. I don't know why, but I was at the part, where Frankenstein's monster has found the homeless man, and he's learning to have a friend for the first time, and I don't know, something about that was very, very sweet and very much so stuck with me while I was building this little area with the plants for the dog. I don't know. That movie's so good. Like, I hate silent movies. I'll be so for real with you. They make me really, really uncomfortable. But something about the old black and white monster movies, it's so good. I don't know. I love them. Night of the Living Dead, Bride of Frankenstein, Daughter of Dracula. I do have beef with with Dracula, because I wanted to do Frankenstein in high school, and we did Dracula instead. It was like our teacher got to pick. So I have beef with Dracula, not because he did anything wrong, but because I wanted to read Frankenstein, and we did it. And so I have beef with the movie because we watched it in class. I'm not apologizing. Why did we do Dracula? Like, Mary Shelley created a new genre, essentially. She was one of the first people to make their own monster. Everyone else had come from folklore, and we did one based off of folklore. Boo! I think she was a hater. I'm not just attached to Mary Shelley. It was definitely hateful. Anyway, we're moving on to the bathroom. We're almost done with the inside of the house. Almost done with the building in general, if I'm honest. Why is it doing that? Okay. This bathroom's probably one of my least favorite I've ever done. I'm getting really tired of doing these little 2x3s, but they're what's easy. They fit in every house, and I've been doing a lot of smaller houses. I don't think this one would count as a tiny home, but it's like kind of close, I think. But it's definitely over 100 tiles, but I don't know how much over. I could be lying. I think that main room could be 100 tiles. Anyway, again, Book Nook came in here. I used like a big cozy chair. I made this whole library area. Again, not 100% positive it functions. That's not my problem. I don't love this desk area, but again, it's so much easier to play in The Sims if you have a desk. And if you have a computer on that desk. So I have an artist easel over here, which I'm pretty sure does not work where I have it. You're gonna have to turn it, but it looked better this way. And then a record player and the typewriter computer to kind of make it look a little less modern. But we're moving on to landscaping now, so I'm almost done. I did some very Little Simsy-esque landscaping here. I won't lie to you. I used the little lulling yellow flowers and the sunflowers. I didn't use a lot of trees. I just have trees over by what the lake is. And then the rest are flowers or like shrubs or grass, just because it felt a little more fitting, but also where I put this lot, there is so many trees like around you that it's so hard to actually put any more and be able to see. But I built like a little fake dock back here. I know you saw it earlier, but it's in my field of vision, so I'm pointing it out. I'm going to end up putting an umbrella and stuff on that, but first we're going to landscape around the pond. I think I should have left more room open around it. I don't know for sure if they can fish off of the little fake pier. But I put it there because I thought it'd be cute if they could, but I didn't test it. We have dragonflies and country fish in here. There's a fishing sign to make it functional. And now I wanted to put a floaty in the lake, but you can't do that apparently. which I don't get because I've used floaties in natural water, but we have the little Seasons umbrella and the My Wedding Stuff lounge chairs because I felt like they fit. I put sunblock and a citronella candle on that little base of the umbrella. Oh, I used a lot of backyard stuff. Yeah, I used a wind chime and a bird feeder. And then here's a Love Struck blanket with a pick basket from Cottage Living. I don't know, I wanted it to feel cozy. In my head, one person lives here, but they're like, maybe they're courting someone. I don't know. I don't know their life. I didn't build them. There's also a girl in my head, just because all of my Sims are women or non-binary. I really don't think about male Sims. I don't care for them. I don't play with them, but I'm doing terrain paint, which means I'm done. You have a great one, sweetheart. Thanks for gaming with me. Bye-bye.